Hello, friends. This is The Big Talk, and I'm Tricia Brouk. I am so excited because during the last several months, our featured guests have been writing their Big Talk inside the Big Talk Academy. And we are going to dive deep into the process, the importance of story, and how vibrant this community is. I'm so excited to welcome our featured guest today, the incredible Cheryl Liew. Cheryl, are you ready to drop in?
Absolutely, Tricia. I am always ready to be sharing with your audience on the process that we have been taking through the Big Talk Academy, and also the various learnings, personal development. It's really a personal development kind of trip for me, and happy to be here.
Before you go on, I want to tell everyone about you, Cheryl. Cheryl is a mom to 3 boys and a certified high-performance coach, guiding business leaders and entrepreneurs to excel without compromising the lifestyle they desire. As a strategic advisor to C-suite leaders, she guides them on building contemporary organizations through the lens of inclusion and high performance. Cheryl, take a minute to fill us in on anything I missed and continue where you left off.
Well, I suppose heading on to the Big Talk Academy was the next big step of sharing my message. Having been already a best-selling author, and I'm going to have another 2 books that's lined up, that's coming up. Best-selling author, I've been speaking on stages. Stages has been a wonderful space for me. I'm about to start my own podcast, learning from all that's happening. And I think one of the things that I truly want to share is that, yes, I am human. I do love to cook, and I do love dancing.
I love that about you. I love knowing that about you, Cheryl. I'd love to start by talking a little bit about the importance of story and why sharing our stories is so valuable when you are a speaker.
I think stories, if you look at stories, it has a history that is at the beginning of mankind. Stories are the ones that we pass values, it's the way we build understanding, and it's the way that we build bridges across different cultures and different age groups. So I think stories are very powerful because it touches it is not just about words, but it goes into the human part of us. So for example, when the talk that I've been working on, one of the 100 ideas that came from the Big Talk Academy is around inclusion, and how the story of myself placed 20 over years ago, that I felt that I was not seen, I was not heard, and I just felt invisible. And the whole scenario, as I told the story, the room goes silent, that people just realize that they have been in those shoes themselves. And it didn't need me to be, it didn't need me to say any more or show any visuals. But the story in itself conveyed the loneliness, it conveyed the despair, and it conveyed the disillusionment of the situation. So I think stories are a very powerful way to convey what you have in a talk that you are planning. Yeah.
We talked last week, Cheryl, about the importance of leading our communities. And I want to be able to share with the listeners and the viewers your feelings on why it's important to show up, the responsibility that we have when we are speaking, and that using a platform, whether it's a stage, whether it's a podcast, whether it's sitting across from the table from someone, being able to communicate and articulate mindfully is so powerful and important. Talk to our listeners and our audience about that a little bit, Cheryl.
I think with everything that's been happening around the world, particularly this season, right, that it invokes different emotions, and be able to share with our community and bring them along, even if you feel that, it's not about taking a position. It's about how can you start a conversation and bring people along those conversations. So if you ask me, my story comes in maybe 3 parts. It's about inclusion that I've just shared. It's also about how can I help others to live a life that's excellent. Now, with, in the past, if you reflect the Me Too movement and then the Black Lives Matter movements, etc., it's really about how can we empower others to have excellence in their lives, that they can live life to the fullest. And the third part of the community that I really want to bring along is for people to realize that there's seeds of greatness within them, that it's planted within them, and how can we help them show up because they are made for more. These are probably when you are out to serve, right? It's important that you show up as you are, and I must say that the process that that the academy is bringing me through helped me distill what are the emotions that I have and what do I bring to my community, and how can I help them realize the empathy and the depth of those emotions, and that they can choose to discover it for themselves. So I think showing up and being who you are is really important.
I couldn't agree more. And one of the things that I love about you within the community is that you show up as yourself 100%. Every time we have those group calls, you are asking questions that serve the community. You are asking questions that not only will help you find the answer when we work together, but those questions serve the entire group. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of community and why when we put ourselves in a room with others, we are going to benefit.
Oh, absolutely. I think the community that has been curated, it's so important. Number one, I think the community within the Big Talk Academy are all creators. And creators have go through different humps along the way. And this is a group of creators who understands, right, the process and what you're going through. And when you show up and you cry over a script, or you vent your frustration that I just cannot get my idea, I don't know what's my true line, they get you, which is very different when you are in a community who is not of that intent. The second thing I like about that particular community is because it's supportive and encouraging, right? No matter, it doesn't matter whether you're starting at the beginning or you decided that, no, I'm going to reverse the process, I'm going to start at the end. They are always cheering you on, because at the end of the day, it's about the message. And the third piece is they don't let you off easy either. They kick your butt, they challenge you. And I think that's important about a community. A community that just lets you be is not a growth community. And one of the most important things as a high performance coach, I always advocate my client and for myself, look for a growth community. Your growth friends are so important. And I have found within the Big Talk Academy, growth friends who would challenge me along the road of being a better communicator and speaker.
Let's talk a little bit about the growth community globally right now. I think that we are in a time in the world where there is massive progress happening, massive growth. And when we step into the role of communicator and speaker, we have a responsibility. How are you participating in the global growth community, Cheryl?
I think the first thing is about being self-aware. You need to be aware about who you are and what those messages, those growth messages, opportunities means to you. And what value can you bring to the table that is neutral, that's non-judgmental, but it opens the ground for conversation and understanding. And that then allows each individual to grow, should they choose to grow. So it's not about us imposing to others that you must grow or why can't you understand, but rather open the way for conversation that will enable them to understand. Yeah, so I think that's the vital piece right now, is about knowing our own awareness of who we are and what it means to me. How can we bring this awareness to others, and how can we gift to others the opportunity for them to make a difference themselves?
Amazing. If we come back to the Big Talk Academy, is there anything about this process that has taught you something new about yourself?
Trust myself more. Really, I think before the entire process, I tend to control the creative process I tend to want to have, okay, what is the framework that we have to work through? But what is taught me is that there is a framework, but it's not about working through. It's about how do you let yourself let go and trust the framework and the process, so that the ideas or the product, the message that comes out is more robust, it's more thoughtful, and it's human. It's not about it's a now topic, but rather it's a topic that the world needs. It's a topic that your tribe needs. And I think that's important, because coming from being an entrepreneur, it's always they've always taught us, right? Who do you serve? What's your segment? What do they need? But when you come from, this is my message, this is what I'm about, and I trust the process will evolve a message that will resonate with others, and we get to serve the people that would resonate with that. That I find is my own growth path for this entire process, and how I get to then do the work I love with the people I love, and a message that is resonating.
And when that's aligned, that's when you inspire people to buy from you or to work with you. Are you conscious of leveraging this work for your business right now?
Not as direct, but it is helping me prune work that I don't feel is aligned. And it's allowing me to also say, okay, these are the type of people that I want to work with, right? And it's allowing us to make better decisions as to how we want to commit our resources going forward. And I think that's important, because one of the philosophy around my team is that we want to do work of impact. Even if when they drive income, impact is important for us. We want to model the way of thinking legacy and impact, and not just about profits and fame.
Right. Have you learned anything about yourself in terms of being so intentional with the writing process, Cheryl?
Oh yes, patience is not my virtue, but I like that you reminded us it's not about the 750 words. It's about setting yourself up for success, right? And if 20 minutes is it, and not a 45-minute session, then do a 20 minutes. And I realized that when you do that, you get the momentum, and because you know that you're only focusing for 20 minutes, you really dig deep. And then and then the messages surfaces, the topic surfaces, the major themes surfaces. So I that has been most useful. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I think that it's great for our viewers to be reminded that when you set yourself up for success and you create that repetitive feeling of confidence, then all of a sudden you're sitting down for 45 minutes and you didn't realize where the other 25 went. So always set yourself up to win. If it's 10 minutes, work hard for 10 minutes and you've just succeeded. Amazing.
And that is a relatively new process for me, because I've thought myself as a speaker. I have my content with me, I have my 3 points, and I do my mental rehearsals, etc. And I always speak as I flow. But this is the first time that I'm actually sitting down and writing a script. And I realized that it allows me actually to dig much deeper. And I think that's what makes a difference.
What else have you viewed about yourself during this process and showing up for the Academy, for yourself and for the community? What's changed?
I think I think one of the first thing is that I am putting myself out there a lot more, and it's okay if nobody agrees with you. Right? And it's not about being right. It's about, I have a point of view. What do you think? It's about having that message out there, and gifting that to your audience, such that we grow together, whether through conversation or through action that they decide to do themselves. So really it's not about me, it's about what I bring to the table to share. So that allows me to free myself up to just show up. But yes, I still do my makeup and whatever else before I do my lives. But that's just the way I am. But the topics now becomes broader, and it encompasses a lot more different views, and I'm gradually also opening up to do things like roundtables. And then, it's people that have warned me, if you do roundtables, very careful who you put in those chairs, because it can go in any direction.
That is such good advice. I want you to open up just a little bit the idea of point of view. I've talked about this a lot in my work, and you spoke my language just now. So I want the audience to hear from you in terms of why point of view is so important.
I would say that if you look at ideas, can anybody come up with like a brand new idea? I think not, because perhaps many of our own ideas are synergizing different things that we have learned, we have heard, we have read, right, or we have experienced. But the value of your point of view on the same, maybe general topic, is because it's your point of view, it's your experience, it's your interpretation, and it brings the value of who you are, and somebody out there would resonate with you. It's just like, for example, the 24-hour woman. Some people look at the title and say, oh, it's so scary. It's like we're always in a hurry, 24 hours. But 24-hour woman to me is embracing the gift of 24 hours, and how do you invest best in it, right? So having an idea, but bringing you into the idea, to me is what point of view means, and it makes that difference.
Absolutely. Well said. I want to thank you, Cheryl, for being a featured guest today on The Big Talk. Where can our listeners get in touch with you? And you have a special gift.
Yes. So I will be providing all my social handles to you. LinkedIn is probably a good place, but I would love to gift the audience the book, The 24-Hour Woman. I think it is not just a book for now, given all the things that's pulling us in all direction, but it is going to be serving through the different generations of women. So come and get your free copy at the24hourwoman.com, and we can continue our conversations there. Thank you very much for the invitation to share my journey and experience and growth. It's truly a personal and professional growth journey.
Thank you, Cheryl. And we're going to put all this information in the show notes for you all. Thanks again for listening. I hope you enjoyed The Big Talk. Check out the next episode. Be sure to subscribe. And if you have any interest in going on the Big Talk Academy journey with me, get on the wait list at thebigtalkacademy.com. And remember, everyone, live your truth, be your authentic self, and drop in. I hope that you will start sharing your powerful story today, and be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you get access to my newest and latest videos. And I really appreciate that you are here and will always respond to the comments. Big love.